Hello everybody, this is Ashenheim, and it's been a long time since I made a build video. Many months, but today we are going to be looking at the Warhammer Black Widow version, which is a premium mech, and I got this for free actually doing the summer missions, the summer splash or whatever it's called, the missions that are currently active right now for another week and a half I believe. So this is a good chance to get a free premium mech. If you don't have one already, that can give you a lot of C-bills. And I wanted something that could fire a lot of ACs, so I went with the Warhammer Black Widow. Now, I'm going to be talking about two different builds I have for this mech. One with AC5s and one with AC20s. So this first one with AC5s, I have 4 AC5s, 2 on each torso. I have stripped the arms clean on both builds. I have an XL300 in this. For skills, I keep the same for both builds. I have max on cooldown, range, heat gen. With the new skill trees that are active, it allows a lot more flexibility in how I make this build. I have maximum on survival, which I'll talk about in a second. I have a lot of mobility to just make use of the points, 3 in cool run, and 1 auxiliary for the consumable slot. One thing to keep in mind about this mech, it is very lightly armored, or it feels very lightly armored for what it has to do. And that is why I have 2 builds on this mech. AC5 allows me to have a little bit more distance, I feel like, and it also allows me to have a lot more variability in my sustainability. So I did the math out. If you have the AC5, you do about 22.89 damage per second, which is about 1370 DPM, and you can have a maximum of 1845 damage on this mech. For the AC20s, you have about 770 damage per minute and a 1400 max. And keep in mind that your AC20 range is also a lot less than your AC5 range. So with the lack of armor that I feel like this mech has, with its maxed out survivability even, as you see on this build, I prefer the AC5. But the AC20 can also be really nice if you prefer just firing those shots and falling back. It's much better at trading than the AC5, but the AC5 is definitely a lot better on sustained fire. As well as longevity, you have 445 more maximum damage with the AC5s than you do with the AC20s. On these builds. So this is our AC5 build, and our AC20 build looks like this. So same exact engine, put a heatsink in there because the AC20 is going to run hot, especially if you fire both at the same time. And have one AC20 in each torso, and otherwise it's the exact same as the AC5. So I'll show you one game in the AC5 and one game in the AC20, and that way you can see both playstyles I like to use on this mech. So let's hop right into it. Alright, here we are on Hibernal Rift. And this could be a good map to try to stay in the back end with our AC5s. If we're with our AC20 build, I'd want to probably stick towards Theta. But in this build, I'm just going to kind of stick in the back. I guess I'll follow our 2 assaults here to make sure they don't get caught out. And we will use our speed. Try to make the most of it. If these assaults look to the left, I'd support them. They went towards Echo. But I don't think so. I think they're just going to go towards Theta or the ditch. I really wish they went there. I would have loved to go for Epsilon if I wasn't alone. But as it is, they all want to make their way towards the middle, and so will I. But I'm going to try to, swing around this way. What this Piranha really should be doing is capturing Theta. Yeah, this guy not knowing how to run towards Theta in the beginning is light mech. But that's okay, we're going to keep advancing. Hopefully by these guys swooping in from the side, it'll leave this area kind of just open range. Just do this and just look at that. Look at that fire rate. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to take some color amps just to keep dealing damage to this guy. And man, my aim is not the best right now, but it's just that fire rate. I mean, as you can see from that one salvo, we're already at 90%. This thing does not have much armor. But when it gets going firing, it gets going. And that Atlas was up there by himself. Okay, so we got a hunchback there with AC20 probably. If it ever load what he has. I'll actually drop an artillery there. Try to slow him down a bit. If we can hold him back in the middle here, we can swoop in on these. Well, if we can swoop in on these assaults, that would be fantastic. be a great opportunity. We've got some range here for these guys. Okay, let's drop down. Let's just, this guy's disconnected. Let's just kill him really quickly, finish him off before he can reconnect. Okay. Let's just fire it on this thing so good. Even when we're firing asynchronous like that, it's just constant barrage of AC5 fire. It just feels so nice when you can just unload on somebody without having to stop. On the AC20, we just want to have that DPM. Although, if we were trying to trade with somebody, I would much prefer the AC20 on a 1 versus 1 trade. But let's just lay into this guy's back. There we go. This guy's trying to get greedy, going after a guy. I don't know exactly what he's thinking. But if we can try to advance up here to support, hopefully, a linebacker back there, give a little bit of a crossfire for him. Oh, let's go and strip him back. I hate Herbies. They always annoy me for some reason. Okay, is this guy dead? No, this guy's still alive. Oh, wow, look for him. We'll go for him for now. We'll kill him. Okay. I'm surprised he's just letting us wail into his back. Oh wait, allies supporting us? Perfect. Okay. We are owning them. We're going to have to take some caps soon because we are definitely down on caps, but no, we're going to take that. This is a sure we're going to win this. Just got to finish him off. Let's go off to the Serby. He's the last boy left. Ooh, he's trying to swim around and oh, he got killed. There we go. Very, very quick game in a Warhammer here, but I mean, show off the rate of fire on AC5. We went through about half our ammo in this game because that's just how fast these AC5s can fire. 546 damage, 2 killing blows, 6 assists, 1 KMDD. I mean, the AC5s on this map just feel so good with that rate of fire. But it is not the only viable build out there, so let's check out the AC20s. Alright, here we are in our AC20 build on Viridian Bog, and I kind of wish I was an AC5 build for this map because I feel like you get a lot more advantage from the long range of this map, but we're going to try to make it work. You see here we're going to all be heading for, it's just killing each other. So I guess we are going to, I kind of want to head towards the C5 area to try to keep it close range, which also makes me want to head towards the middle, but the thing that always gives me about the AC20 build, which is why I always I'm honestly leaning towards the AC5 build in general, is that the armor on this is just not enough to really feel like your tonnage is being used well enough to sustain a lot of enemy fire from being up close and direct with 2 AC20s. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you have AC20s, it feels really nice to alpha strike somebody because it's just 40 right in their face. But it's just a game of you have to trade very well. You have to be careful of where you're taking damage from, because if you're not careful, you'll lose your armor very quickly in this mech. So we are going to, I'm just going to try to stick with the core of the team. Just see where everyone else goes. Let's see, where's our Atlas going? Is he going around underneath? I mean, if we want to go through this valley, I mean, they're not in D5, so it's fine. It looks like they're all going around towards F5, F6. So we can do that. And I tried making like an AC2, AC10 build on this mech, and it is possible you can have like 2 AC2s, 2 AC10s, and be fine on this mech. I may try that later on, but I just prefer either one of these. I mean, let's just wail on this guy like bam, bam. This guy's just not having a good time with his AC20s. And there he goes. Just completely gone. Okay, this guy's just slightly below the ridge line. That's fine. We can try to get an alpha strike into him. And if not, we can try to take and kind of rotate back a little bit. Or maybe get rid of Indigo here. Oh, they have allies up here. Oh, they have lots of allies. Okay. Hopefully our allies will cover our rears a little bit. would love to shoot at that guy, but don't have really the range to take advantage of it. Unless it gets closer like that. In that case, I'll take 2 pot shots, which I also gotta be careful of in this mech because you just don't have a lot of maximum ammo, it feels like. So you gotta be careful with how you use it. So I'm gonna actually just keep rotating with the main group. If we can kill this king crab, that'll be a great advantage we'll give rid of this guy. Oh, he's coming towards us because he's trying to escape our allies. I'm just gonna wait for him to kind of come up a little bit more. Yeah, let's get our shot jump. There we go. Again, that alpha strike just, oh, feels so good. Oh, this guy's got machine guns. No thank you. I would rather not deal with those. I would not lose my AC-20s, please, because I only got 2 of them. I'd like to keep them nice and healthy. If I can get rid of this kid, I feel great. Okay. Is he going to drop down? Kind of just waddle back and forth. Yeah, it just feels, I mean, it feels really bad to miss with these shots on this mech. And I don't want to keep trading with them. I mean, we got half our ammo left, we're going to rotate back. And we're going to try to take care of these guys. And we're kind of exposed. We got an exposed torso, but we need to help our guy here. Shit, he just went down. Okay. Yeah, let's try to keep the shoulder alive. At least 4 more alpha strike. Try to get another alpha strike into this guy. There we go. Okay, we lost him. We lost his torso, we're about to die probably. But we took out that guy at least. Where's this guy going to land? Let's get rid of those legs. I mean, this does feel good for leg shooting too, right? 20 to the legs. 20 pinpoint does not feel good to your legs. I mean, I think this is a very good example of what a game with AC-20s usually feels like for me. Is you usually do decent damage, you take as much damage as you can, you get some kills along the way because you got that burst, not burst, but you got the that pinpoint high alpha damage shot to work with. But I mean, as you saw in this game, the AC-20s just don't have the rate of fire or the the armor just does not feel good with the AC-20s all the time, but it can when you're in situations where you're kind of sitting behind everybody, you can just take your time. But in situations where you need to keep firing to stay alive, I think I prefer the AC-5s more. And I guess we'll see how, I mean, this match looks like it's going to turn out for our end, so my final recommendations with these mechs is, or with this mech, the Black Widow, is if you prefer something that's high alpha, slow rate of fire, you can trade more efficiently, 1-for-1, AC-20s all the way, so great setup, just be very mindful of your armor. If you prefer something that I think, like I do, has a greater rate of fire, more damage per second, allows you to be a little bit more flexible, I go with AC-5s. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what builds you prefer on your Black Widow, if you have it, and if you haven't gotten it yet, well, if you want one, this is a great time to try to earn it through the free events going on right now for a beach party, so go ahead and do that. And until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.